Welcome to Mostly True Stories with Dr. Juan Harrison, a series of feel-good, faith-based short stories from a Texan's perspective. Now here's Dr. Juan Harrison with today's story. Please enjoy.
I've been to Paris, France several times and always visited the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, Notre Dame, the Louvre, the Garden of Versailles. I rode the camels to the pyramids at Giza, Egypt, and I walked where Christ walked along the shores of the Sea of Galilee. I was impressed by the Acropolis and the Parthenon in Greece. But I think some of my best memories are of Estes Park, Colorado, my favorite place in the whole world. A neighbor and friend around the corner thinks she may be moving there one day. I've asked her to adopt me and take me with her. I could keep her lawn there for room and board. The first time we took that old winding road from the Colorado Interstate to Estes Park, I tried to imagine anyone getting in and out of there in the winter, but I bet a four-wheel drive can do it with no sweat. The good thing was that it was June and 50 at night. Late one evening, we got a bubbling hot pizza reminding me of Texas Tech nights at Little Italy and Natara Pizza. Why did it taste so good at midnight and make you feel like yuck at 6 a.m.? The kids and us wolfed it down by a gurgling brook. We hadn't got settled good until a herd of elk came strolling by with the cutest baby calves dragging up the rear. The light jacket felt good in the cool evening breeze whistling through the valley. Following morning was roundup time. Time to head 'em up and move 'em out. I hadn't ridden a horse in a while, but I think my wife's word was never. We found her a horse, much to the displeasure of the man from the glue factory there to pick him up. It was my first experience of seeing a horse with his own oxygen mask. It was probably just the high altitude. Well, my sons and I moved into position to boost my wife up. Ryan was fixing to be a counselor at a Christian camp at nearby Longs Peak there in the Rocky Mountains. And Clay was along to check out the accommodations at the Air Force Academy, so helping Mom get mounted would be good practice for both of them. If we had been in Clay's courtroom today, she might be classified as a hostile rider. Her not-so-fleet steed didn't appear to be all that excited about it either. Then again, they had a little trouble keeping him awake. Probably his nap time. The three of us did finally get her situated in spite of those strange sounds that someone was making in the saddle area. We're still not sure if it was the horse or her. I'm proud to say that both Mama and the horse survived the jaunt around the park. The older horse had a little trouble with his transmission, sometimes wanting to go in reverse instead of forward. I regret to say I can't put my hand on the video, which could be used for blackmail purposes. We may not have gotten it back from America's Funniest Videos. My wife said that when she went to see the performance of Texas in the Palo Duro Canyon near Amarillo later, she was not invited to be a part of the equestrian that ride out with the flags. I could tell it was a big letdown to her. I'm not sure how her reputation as a rider reached all the way to Amarillo, Texas, but as the Martian said, upon visiting Earth and encountering a thermos jug of hot coffee next to another one beside it full of ice, how does it know? An Earthling asked, "What do you mean?" To which the Martian again asked, "How does it know to keep the hot stuff hot and the cold stuff cold?" You just have to chalk some things up to being unexplainable. Well, at least my wife was never thrown off a horse. I can't say the same for me. One time on a 3-day ride as a kid, I made the mistake of letting my rope jerk back and catch my horse in a sensitive spot of the undercarriage. I would have jumped too. Well, that brings back bad memories of military physicals with the big ugly nurses without compassion. Anyway, I momentarily saw my short life flash before my eyes. I suspected my pride was hurt more than my posterior. I managed to miss the cactus, but not the horse apples, or as you tenderfeet refer to as horse poop. Add me to the list of things with company and fish that smell after 3 days. I don't think you could tell much difference adding the new odor to the caked-on sweat and the horsehair clinging to the thighs of my jeans. I hope I can trust you guys to not tell my wife about this. After all, I did try to discuss her writing skills with great sensitivity, and my manly pride is pretty fragile these days. This is Dr. Juan Harrison, and this has been a selection from my series, The Mostly True Stories of Dr. Juan Harrison. Find me on Facebook and my books on Amazon.com.